Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague with myself, Odie Pixel, and of course Draskell. We're ready to head into the second series of the day between Vega Squadron and of course Game Online. The draft is underway. What are we seeing, Draskell?
We got some troll pickers on our hands.
We do indeed.
That's all we're seeing right now, and it's going to be coming out from Vega, and they're the team I'm more interested to see, only because, again, as I said previously on the couch, I haven't seen them play, especially with the new additions of Solo and Mag. So two obviously great players who have a wide array of experiences, I would say, in the Dota scene. So it should be, I mean, it can only be a good thing, right, for any team to pick up these players.
To have them as a pairing
like, against anyone, I would say that these players are at the very least on equal terms with some of the best. So I'm really curious to see how Vega perform here. Game Online, though, they're going with something we actually saw in the first series, the Queen of Pain Lina opening.
Okay, so already the Queen of Pain, you know she's going to have a fairly good lane, and the Lina pretty much likewise, and a very versatile hero as well that doesn't really give away much of the game plan. If you're opening the draft with these two heroes, you're not giving away a lot. Vega, they still follow up with a strong pick, so they grab themselves the Lion, and arguably one of the strongest supports at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, these two heroes, like Lina and Lion together, like, if you get them on the same team, it's crazy because you have insane bursts, but they both offer a decent amount of crowd control and damage in their own right. I would say that Lina is more of the core, whereas Lion is the better disabler, obviously because he has stun and a hex. Yeah. And you can also just, like, Finger late game has a pretty short cooldown, so he can do an okay amount of damage, but against BKB, he's obviously not as good. So they're very similar in the way that they function later or early into the game, but later on, they kind of come into their own as heroes. But both, like you said, extremely powerful. So checking out the bans, we actually had a Magnus ban coming out from Vega, so maybe Game Online were doing their best, basically a known impression, and picking Mag recently. I'm not really sure, because I haven't seen them play in a while. But I really like the fact that all these teams, even like the ones who realize how good Troll and Sniper are willing to let the heroes through. Yeah. Just because they respect a hero so much from the enemy team that they're just like, no, we can't give him that.
Yeah, it certainly is interesting to see. I mean, as you said, there must have been a keeping tabs on Game Online and realizing that Magnus was a very, very strong pick of theirs. And now fourth ban here from the side of Vega. I mean, when you go up against the draft for Queen of Pain Lina, and obviously a lot of the tier 1 picks and bans already been touched, who do you feel that Vega could kind of touch upon with this fourth ban?
Well, I mean, having a Troll first pick, if you want to go for some kind of right-click late game, you already have it secured. So you're really only looking to ban out cores that could potentially do well against Troll. So Juggernaut, okay, I would definitely look at banning, perhaps. They've already taken out Bat, who kind of functions in the same way of being able to isolate the Troll from his team. Yeah. And we haven't seen Venge picked up. So if you want to go for like a Venge ban as well, I think that's also fairly warranted. It can be good against Troll because of just the minus armor, and being able to swap somebody out of a stun lock, things like that can be pretty strong. But they're going to take out the Morphling. So they have done their Game Online homework. They do not want the support Morphling to be a factor here. They're not going to let him get their Morphling Skywrath combo. There's not going to be any potential for that blink into almost unstoppable burst combination that you could see. Although I would say you could play around it if you wanted to pick like a swap for Revenge, or you wanted to have like a Batten or something like that. Like we talked about the counters to it last week. It's just sometimes it might not be worth playing around the hero if it detracts too much from your game plan.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny I actually mentioned the Skywrath there. Do you feel with the Quap and the Lina, Skywrath could still be a very, very potential pickup?
If you were going to do that, I think you might look to run the Lina as a core, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm just saying, like, if it were me and I was going to pick Skye, I would pick a Skye and another support, have a very self-sufficient like safe laner or solo mid in Lina, and then just put the Queen whatever solo lane that you weren't going to be going for. But they're going to take SB, another hero who's notorious for his lockdown potential. Obviously,
good against the Troll?
Yeah, it's good against Troll. I mean, you can disable through BKB as well, which not
good against the Lion.
Yeah, but you have to actually be in a good position when you see it coming. Like if you know you're getting charged, then it's really easy to set up a stun, or really easy to just hex before he gets anything off. But as you can see in his most commonly purchased items, Shadow Blade is very, very often bought on him for the sole reason to prevent the enemy from knowing that you're going to jump. And if you get the stun off, you're going to get the ult off, like 90% of the time. So we'll see how Game Online chooses to play it out. And I think it's probably going to be, it'll be Zinz, I guess, playing it. Because he's the one who played the Morphling before, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was the Zinz Morphling, that we saw being very, very effective. At least I think it was effective in the first game, and the second game it didn't work out as well, I seem to recall. But all in all, he definitely had a game where, the Morphling was a real threat, so it's totally understandable why Vega did ban that out. The Treant ban coming out from Game Online. Yes, to be fair, one of those heroes that if he does manage to get the Ags, not too fun to play against as a Spirit Breaker trying to charge across the map.
Yeah, he's also great against Spirit Breaker in the sense that even if you don't have Overgrowth, you can just Living Armor whoever gets charged, and that's enough damage reduction to prevent any hero from dying solo, which kind of takes away a lot of Spirit Breaker's potential. It's the same reason why you see the tree banned against teams who pick Storm. So like if the team picks Storm, that team who also picked Storm will ban tree for the same ideology, I guess, that we're seeing here. But Vega, they go with a Phoenix, a hero who is very strong against the current roster of Game Online. There's no hero who really goes for a super fast BKB. So we'll have like a good 25, 30-minute period where his abilities will be very devastating during the team fights. But once you start seeing BKBs come out, Phoenix becomes a lot less potent. And normally you either see like Enigmas with Phoenixes because then there's two big ultis that you have to worry about. And not just that, but being able to focus them together is impossible. Because if you focus the egg, you can get black holed. And if you try to stop the black hole itself, when there's an egg down, it's like, which one do we choose? So it can be very frustrating to fight against both.
Yeah, indeed, and I guess, I mean, the only thing that's kind of working in favour for the side of Game Online against the Phoenix is they've got the Lina, and Lina's going to be punching pretty quickly in the midst of the team fights, of course, with the Fiery Souls passive stacking up. I mean, you're picking the Phoenix third into the draft. Are there any kind of heroes that are still available that you want to be thinking about picking up to kind of counter the Phoenix in the team fights?
Well,
I'll go for the Skyrath.
Yeah, they will take Skyrath, and that's pretty much just in response to the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe they didn't want to go Sky, but it fits too well against what Vega have picked. Like, they needed a way, like you said, to deal with the Phoenix and make sure that they're not going to be able to always get the egg off in a team fight. And a Spirit Breaker plus Skyrath is still a huge chunk of damage because, again, Greater Bash is all magic. So if you get a seal on somebody, that's already 30% increased magic damage taken at level 1. And if you max it out, you can have the potential to kill somebody in a stun lock and a silence pretty easily.
5 seconds.
And I guess also with the Skyrath pickup now, obviously playing it against a Troll Warlord. Troll Warlord not necessarily a hero that wants to always build a BKB. This match, you kind of need it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you'll make a BKB eventually on Troll in most games, but it's usually like Phase, Dominator, Aquila, SNY, then BKB, which is quite a bit of investment before you decide to go back for Magic Immunity. So again, it's all about the spiking power of how good is my hero until X time in the game. Like for a long time, the Skyrath will be very potent and the Queen will be very potent just because of their base skill set. But then when BKBs come out, they kind of go for a little while until you start to get some other items. And Vega, they get Axe very far into this draft.
And obviously one of the heroes, I was going to talk about the heroes that work very nice with Phoenix. Obviously got someone like the Medusa with the Stone Gaze. They've already got the Troll, so that was going to be unlikely. Also Undying, if they wanted to go aggressive with the Tombstone, something that's very nice to throw into the team fights with the Supernova. But of course Axe as well with his Call, very nice with the Phoenix.
It can be a dual offlane very easily, which is those two heroes. But that would also mean that Vega have to last pick a mid that does well against Queen, or they could put Troll mid versus Queen, which is still a mismatch. And by that I mean Queen wins.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's interesting. I wonder what they're going to do for their last pick. Yeah, they even think they're going to pick a mid because they just banned out TA. So the Phantom Assassin is taken out here by Vega, which is fairly good against what they have currently. I mean, it's okay against Troll in the sense that you're permanently blinded, if you want to think of it that way, because of Blur, right? So it's 50% mischance. And Whirling Axes might be 60, but the Troll might not want to have the hassle of building a MKB in this matchup.
That's true.
So if he just wants to not go for it, that's more than okay.
I go for the PL.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the one core that's left that just straight up does well against Troll.
I mean, you know, kind of looking back in retrospect, as Vega, would you not have preferred to ban the PL rather than the PA?
Yeah. I think hindsight's 20/20 here, though.
Yes,
you know, it's very easy to say, okay, we definitely should have banned PL instead of PA. But I mean, that's what makes drafting so hard, right?
You've got to kind of contemplate everything.
There's so many possibilities, and that's why sometimes having a really big outdraft can just be very decisive. Like, it's like, okay, we outdrafted you, so we just win. Like, there are games that are decided that way. Not so much anymore, but I think this one will still be pretty close. We'll see what Vega want to pick up here for their mid.
10 seconds remaining.
There should be a way to check, like, what heroes are remaining. Like, because sometimes you don't think of something until you physically see it, right? So it's nice to be able to look at the heroes left in the pool and just like, this is what they could pick, you know?
Well,
but they're going to go with Puck.
That. And it is the Puck. And I mean, Puck, pretty good against this lineup in the sense there's a lot of, you know, with the setups from the Light Strike arrays, you know, the slow-moving missiles from Skyrath, and even the Queen of Pain with the daggers. There's a lot of things that you can dodge fairly easily. Yeah,
I mean, Puck's a great hero. He's one of my favorites, actually, even though my win rate with him is like 30%. My KDA is like 15. but I have a
That's pretty
30%
high,
win rate.
yeah.
Yeah, because he can't win games. That's the thing. Like he can dominate mid game. He can win his lane, and he can have a huge impact for the first 20 to 25 minutes. But after that, unless you're like unbelievably farmed, you fall off like a rock. Like you have one coil where you don't get any kills, or you lose a fight, and your hero becomes poop. It's extremely frustrating. I mean, with the Aghanims change that they put in some time ago, it kind of helped him because a 4.5 second stun upon breaking coil is still ridiculously powerful. But in a team setting where you're playing competitive, he can have a lot more impact because the setup is what's important. It's not his damage, it's the fact that he started the engagement. So I still think in this type of environment, he can be great.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the team fight potentially looking very nice for Vega. You go in with the core, you then got the Dream Code to lay down on them after the core's over, and during this whole entire time, there's a supernova ticking down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's a really nice combo.
Yeah, if the execution's there for the side of Vega, it's going to be very nice indeed. But it's kind of going to have to be there because you don't really want to be going late against the PL with this lineup, do you?
Yeah, the PL has some sense of inevitability here. There is always the chance for Mag to get like a clutch blink call, and that could open up like for a Hex and a Finger and stuff like that. So there are some ways that they can deal with him, but it is definitely hard. Like it's much harder for Vega to kill the PL than it is for Gamma Line to kill the troll. Yeah. I always see goal and I think complexity. It makes my brain just like, it lags out.
Like, game online.
I want to say Cole, and then I see it's goal, and then I'm like, yeah, but it looks like complexity. And then they also kind of stole the logo for
a little bit similar to
the StarCraft thing, GSL. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. So
my brain just like jumps to all those things, and then I can't actually think of the stupid team name.
Here we go.
Why can't they just have like a Game Boy as their like team logo? Because I would just think game.
Yeah, just like a Game Boy with like a Wi-Fi symbol coming in.
Yeah. And then it would be like game online. Ah, you know, your brain puts that together. But when I see this, I see like forgery and complexity, and that's not good.
It's not
at least for remembering the team name.
No, not at all. It kind of does block the mind and halter it. We've got a little bit of a pause here as one of the players has DC'd. But I mean, yeah, in terms of control, Vega, once they get the blink daggers on the axe and the puck, we're pretty much going to expect them to go full on ham against the side of Rainy because they need to punish them so hard with the PL pick because, as you said, the inevitability is always there that the PL is going to become very scary and suddenly, I mean, they will still have the control in the late game in the form of the Waning Rift and the Berserker's Call and the Lion, of course, with the Hex.
Why are we showing Venom? Like, why are we showing Venomancer?
Classic Scriff, that.
Classic Scriff.
Classic Scriff. Visage as well.
He's showing heroes that nobody plays, I guess.
Yeah. 3.7%. Is that the pick rate? 3.9? That's not too bad.
I can feel Awie's tears from here at the Visage nerfs. Lich has actually picked a fair amount, though.
Yes.
Like
I mean, we've seen it a few times in DreamLeague, haven't we? Yeah.
He's just randomly going through heroes. Meepo would have been cool to see this game. He actually...
Yeah, I mean, one of the most common items, Diffusal Blade on the Meepo.
I guess so.
Apparently.
I'm not a Meepo picker, so I wouldn't know.
I've not seen a lot of Diffusal Meepos, but maybe I haven't seen enough. Well,
here's a hero that never gets played, pretty much.
Will she get played more post-patch?
I think so. I think the buffs are pretty significant.
It's a large buff to the lifesteal percentage and how much it is, but the cooldown...
Yeah, but you have to think of it in the sense that...
I mean, it's what, 2.7 seconds at the first point?
Yeah, but you have to think of it this way. How often are you actually proccing every 3 seconds with a level 1 moment of courage right now? Yes. Because it's such a low percentage. Okay, so you have to look at it in the sense that how often is it really going to be going off? So yeah, I think it's okay. And I think it's a buff for jungling too.
But you won't be rushing Aghanims on the Legion?
No. No.
No, bad idea.
You could, I guess, if you just like had a situation where 2 teams have 4 people dead, and you just had rush Aghanims and you duel like a support, you'll probably win the duel, but it would take like 30 seconds for you to actually kill the hero. So everyone's just dead and you guys are just sitting there auto-attacking each other. But it could actually be really strong if you're really farmed and you just want to be like, I'm locking this carry out of the fight for sure, like no matter what.
True, it is a big disable.
And because they also, like a couple of patches ago, they made it so orbs also work during the duel. So if you have lifesteal and you have like...
on top of moment of courage.
Like you pretty much won't die to one hero.
As long as there's no one else about.
Right.
Yeah. That is true.
So it can be good, but I think it's a late game item.
Well, one thing I actually wanted to ask that I've not seen anyone talk about, Broodmother, a bit of a buff for her. The ultimate's better, does more, and the fact that the passive is now not a unique attack modifier.
Yeah, that's a big one, because you can even go stuff like Maelstrom now, or Mjolnir, for example, and just push lanes like crazy hard. And I think it makes her less reliant on the spiderlings as well to be able to farm effectively. So if you can just buy like that item in like some lanes, you actually don't want to use spawn spiderlings at all, like against Axe or LC,
course,
which could be picked more after the patch. There's a lot of situations where you could theorize actually just not skilling spiderlings is better. There's even a whole video about it. Some guy did a guide. What was his name? I actually watched it the other day, and he made a lot of good points as why a lot of matchups you would just go 0-4-4 and ulti, and then you just right-click whoever is in your lane to death, and they can't do anything.
But situations like, you know, at the beginning of the game, if you know you're going to have to go the no spiderlings build, you kind of not say to yourself, well, let's pick someone else other than Broodmother.
It's kind of a double-edged sword because Brood can still pressure the lane harder than a lot of offlaners can, even without the use of spiderlings. It's just that you have to wait longer to do it. So instead of being able to pressure with being able to spawn spiderlings and them not having any counter push, your timing window becomes, I need to hit level 6, and then with the use of Insatiable Hunger, then I start putting pressure on them, which can be a good and a bad thing. But again, it's Dota, so everything is like variables, like how soon do I need to push, you know? Like how often really does the Brood need to kill the tier 1 at like 3 minutes? I would even argue that keeping the tier 1 alive sometimes can be good because it baits people into walking into the trees where there's nowhere to go.
That's true,
and then they're trapped.
More potential for pickoffs. Indeed, but well, we have got a bit of a pauseroo. So apologies for this, ladies and gentlemen at home. We're just going to have to hang on here for the study game online to get themselves into gear. Terrorblade, that's a hero that had that classic game at Starladder where it was the Cloud9's third game of the best of 3.
Making it shown how Terrorblade is not what he used to be.
No.
No.
There was a period where Terrorblade was pretty disgusting, wasn't there?
I actually think that Terrorblade just isn't good right now.
Yeah.
Like just in general, he's just not good.
He didn't really get changed in the there wasn't.
No, he didn't get changed. It's just that like Terrorblade, he got a movement speed decrease in his metamorphosis form, which is actually a pretty big deal.
Oh, actually, no, that was it. Yeah, the one where he cast an illusion. That's now 100% illusion damage. That's kind of good buff.
Are they changing that in 6.84?
Yeah, 6.84.
So
when you do the, I can't remember what's the move called. It's reality. When you use it on an enemy hero and creates illusion that attacks them, that does 100% of that hero's damage, rather than 60 or 70%.
Okay, I didn't actually read that one.
Actually.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually really good. Like carry versus carry, it makes him really strong.
That's actually, yeah.
But it's only base damage because it's an illusion, so it would be like really good against heroes like Tiny, for example.
Oh yeah.
But
so maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then you have to get to that point as a Terrorblade.
Yeah, he could come back. I guess that's what we're kind of getting at here.
It's potential. Yeah, indeed.
Are we just going to go through like all the Aghanims changes of all the heroes now that we're popping up Wraith Kings?
Why
Just
not?
like talk about Wraith King.
Okay, Wraith King Aghanims.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we saw Dazzle's Shallow Grave is protecting people post-death.
Yeah, from the Wraith King ulti. It's intended because you can do the same thing with Oracle ulti.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it saves you from death. So there's not like more than one form of death except for Axe Call, apparently.
You're gonna dead. I mean,
I don't know. The only thing in the game that goes through Grave is Axe Call, and I think it needs to stay that way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's how I feel anyway.
I mean, well, on the topic of Aghanims, what else are we seeing that we haven't really talked about?
Weaver Aghanims.
Weaver Aghanim. I mean, 22nd time
that one is so confusing though, because Weaver is very seldom built in a way that you would ever want to make Aghanims at an early stage in the game, unless you just wanted to play like support Weaver, which with the new swarm scaling and stuff might actually become a thing.
Maybe.
Like you run
the value
like dual lanes are so common now, so maybe they just pick like Weaver with another hero in a dual lane, and he just like spams Shikuchi and is a general annoyance, makes an Aghanims, just time lapses his carry when he's gonna die. Like, what a hero.
Absolutely. Well, we'd love to stay and talk with you, but we're going to have a quick break because it looks like we are going to have to remake the game. So rather than keep you guys waiting, we're going to let you watch some beautiful commercials. So we'll see you guys back in a minute. We'll just get the game remade here.
No. Ooh. Hey birds, when it comes to romance, successful wooing relies on perfect timing. See? So when you need to be quick, forget about slapping your big sausage thumbs around. My T100 is a tablet and a laptop, optimized for romance. Oh, just the way the ladies like it.
It's a laptop.
Oh.
It's a tablet. The ASUS Transformer Book T100.
Hello, welcome back again for the ASUS ROG Dream League. We're just waiting for the second game to get underway. We did get ourselves into it. The draft has already been done. As you guys know, we're just remaking the game at the moment. We've had a switch around with one of the players. Forgive me, who is it that we are losing? Rocksnack, that was it. Rocksnack is unfortunately unable to reconnect for some kind of issue. So we are going to be having Jellapi standing in.
No idea.
Do we know who Jellapi is?
Mm-mm. No. I mean, it's a ticketed game, as everyone in the game is actually using their professional tags right now. So if he had one, it would be showing up. But it's not, so I don't know who it is.
Okay.
It could just be somebody using a different account as well. So I don't know.
Could be. Could be, yeah, it could be a big player. But we'll see. Obviously, they've got faith in him. That's the guy that they go to, you know, as their stand-in man. So it can't be too much of a kick in the teeth for the
It's actually, it's like kind of funny and sad that it's so frequent that we have stand-ins. Like not even just in this league, but in general, that people can just boom find a stand-in like
it's not
at
like,
a drop of a hat.
Yeah, there's someone waiting always.
It's like we got this guy, and we got a second string and a third string and like a fourth string, and then if all else fails, we have Shane stand-in. You know?
Oh God.
But he's not here, unfortunately. Well, actually, we get a slasher stand-in.
Maybe Shane is Jellapi.
It's a vast improvement over Shane.
Shane's just gone off to stand in for... he was talking about Excalibur.
He is gone.
Buddies. He's gone. Shane, is he standing in?
I knew it. I knew it.
Shane's secretly...
I saw him playing Dota the other day. For like the first time in a while. Oh, God, no.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's not great. It's okay, though. I love him anyway.
It's all right. Let's hope Jellapi isn't Shane then. We're just loading into the game right now, and it's all picked, so we'll pick off the heroes very quickly for the both sides. Here we go as they grab them up.
I'm wondering actually if Game Online decide to put the core on another member of their team.
I was going to say, do you think they might do that?
Rather than Jellapi? Jalopy?
Jalopy?
I'm going to call him Jello.
Jello.
Jello's way easier, less confusing.
We don't have to worry about the P, the pie.
That's a nice thing about being a commentator, is if you get tired of saying somebody's name, we're just like, your name is now different because it's easier to say.
You might be insulting them, but...
Not really.
No, they don't care.
Calling somebody Jello isn't an insult. I love Jello. I'm old. All old people like Jello.
Well, we're nearly done. Just waiting for the final person to pick up their hero as we get into this game. Vega Squadron up against Game Online. In terms of predictions, we're kind of feeling that going into this Vega Squadron, they're going to be pretty strong. They've got Mag and Solo. We haven't, well, at least in this league, seen them being run with this team. And I believe they were the team that, of course, did get here through the open qualifiers. So we know that they've fought for this position. They've obviously done very well to get this far, at least. So. And Game Online, it is their second chance that they've been given here. You know, they did get knocked out. Can you remember who they got knocked out by?
Oh, I'm sure Shiver has it written down somewhere. She'll yell at us at some point.
Who were Game Online knocked out by in the second week, last week? I think was it Flipside?
It might have been.
I kind of feel
because Flipside went on, like, they had 2 upsets that week, didn't they? They, like, beat 2 teams that we didn't think they were going to beat, but I don't think they ended up winning the overall qualifier. No, they didn't. But either way.
We'll see.
We're finally in game.
We're finally
I'm sure Shiver will have it.
Finally in game. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to that
look
is
at how
basically unknown.
So the team that actually won the entire qualifier is the team that beat them.
Knock them out. Okay, so I mean, yeah, that's more than any kind of reason to keep an eye out on Game Online. They've obviously got the young Excalibur, bit of a child prodigy, has done some pretty fantastic things in the past on certain heroes. Well, let's see if we can continue it now. As we were saying earlier, a bit of a lane switch round and core switch round. Do we see who Jello did pick up? Is Jello on the... Jello's on the quap. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be Jello on the quap and it's going to be still Excalibur on the PL. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about the players and what heroes they're on. It's going to be Jellapi on that quap. It's going to be Zeroji on the support Lena. Scarif will be played by Pelican. And of course, in the safe lane, as we were saying, Excalibur on your Phantom Lancer. And on the solo lane, Zintz this time on the Spirit Breaker. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Draskell. It's Game Online versus Vega. What are we seeing on Vega?
All right, so we got Solo. He's going to be handling that Phoenix. Next to him is going to be no one, Kappa. He's going to be playing on the Puck Mag. He's handling the Axe. Going to have Seema. He's playing on the Lion. And of course, that leaves one more, but hold on. A little bit of an engagement here.
Indeed, Jellapi hasn't skilled yet, so we'll be able to blink out this one. He does grab the bounty, maybe leaving it a little bit late because no one, he's gone up to the high ground. It's going to be the blink away, he's going to be fine. And looks like a lot of damage done in this early little engagement, but no one's going to fall here. Vega. But now in Bashu, taking a lot of damage by the looks of it from the Spirit Breaker, who skilled the Bash first in that fight for the bounty rune at the top lane. So as the kind of lanes settle, what are we seeing? Yeah, we're pretty much seeing what you were expecting from the side of the die. We're going to see this kind of Phoenix Axe duel off lane.
It's really strong. Like, the Phoenix in of itself is already a good solo laner, but when you throw an Axe into the mix, it makes any melee farming against that a total nightmare. And you can never underestimate the damage output of these two heroes. This top lane, the Bash Lord. All right, Zinz. He's exuded his dominance over this top lane. And look at how little damage he actually takes, as I'm sure he's lagging out, and that's why Excalibur has likely paused, because he was just standing there taking autos. But yeah, I think the lane should actually favor Vega, outside of the fact that their troll almost just got owned by a Spirit Breaker at level 1.
I mean, Troll, how much regen has he got on him at the moment? Is he just tankers? Just tankers. He's brought a lot of tankers to the lane. But then again, so is Zinz. Now Zinz will have to deal with Seema the Slayer, the line turning up. That was going to make it a little bit harder for Zinz to get away with the amount of aggression that he was achieving just now onto the Troll Warlord. So yeah, as you said, Vega all around pretty strong lanes. I mean, in the mid lane, we talk about how the Queen of Pain dominates most kind of matchups. Up against the puck a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Queen wins this, but it's more like a 60-40 matchup and comes a lot down to the player's skill. And I think we've seen this matchup like one other time here at the ASUS ROG Dream League. The real difference between the two heroes is not really how they function in lane, it's just how they gank. Like a puck gank is more reliable in the sense that you're giving a guaranteed disable to your team, and you're forcing them to stay in that area, where Queen is more like gank by burst, and hope that you can just pop the heroes before any reaction comes in. So they both have their strengths. I would say that puck falls off a bit harder. Queen has better scaling through the mid game because of her ulti being pure damage, and BKB purchases not really hurting her as much as it would hurt a puck. But again, if he can make the plays happen in the mid game for ganking, then he'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see who does manage to make the kind of most impactful rotations here on both sides, coming from the mid lane. And so far the farm, top lane, Troll, leading the CS. He's on 10 CS at the moment. At the bottom, 7 for 3 here on Excalibur, who quite evidently is having a little bit of a tricky time, as expected, against this Phoenix and Axe combination. And 2 minutes in, and we're seeing, yes, he's also decided to put a point into the stats now at level 2 on top of the Spirit Lance. So I guess going to go for that farming build where, but no, I mean, no points into Doppelganger yet, but I guess at this stage you don't really need it.
I think he might be saving points right now. He's put 1 into stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has only 1 though, because he has 3 branches. So I think the play is to maybe save for Phantom Rush.
Okay.
And then if they want to go for an all-in on the Phoenix and try to kill him, they could do that. They could potentially go on Mag, but it's a bit harder of a kill, because the Phoenix has 3 armor and the Axe, well, actually the Axe doesn't have a bringer protection, so maybe Phoenix is still kind of annoying. But when you have double nuke and silence up, you go for a kill.
Okay, indeed. And mid lane, we saw Puck getting harassed very heavily. Has had to back up there in the mid lane for the time being, as Quap maintaining her dominance here against the Puck in this matchup. And I mean, yeah, looking at the bottom lane, as good as an off-lane duo, Mag and, well, the Phoenix are, the burst damage certainly there, isn't it? After they get a few levels, they hit level 3, you know, you've got your Ancient Seal, Concussive Arcane, and you come in with the old Light Strike and Fiery, so he should be able to burst pretty much both of those heroes, wouldn't you say? Yeah,
I mean, the burst is real on the side of Game Online. That's Skywrath, Luna, and Queen. That's enough burst to kill anybody at any stage in the game, especially with pure damage on potentially 2 heroes once the Luna gets Aghanims.
Indeed. 4 minutes in, no one to fall as of yet. In your Spirit Breaker getting a fair bit of farm, has 6 CS so far. Okay, but Wolfly and Solo's getting very low here. Fiery Soul, Fiery Dragon Slave, sorry, catching him out, and he's going to hide away in the tree line. Excalibur looking to finish him off with the Spirit Lance, but he TP's out. He's going to be okay. Matt gets a call here onto Pelican. Fiery Dragon Slave coming out, and now with the Spirit Lance slowing him down as well. Light Strike Array will miss though, and it looks like Matt gets out. No, Jellypee's coming. Oh, he's got a haste rune. Fantastic rotation, and they will find the kill, and that's your first blood going to the Phantom Lancer.
That is super unfortunate that there was a haste. It was a really nice play by Solo to eat the tree and be able to get himself out. I'm pretty sure Mag didn't spend like at all, by the way. Like honestly, he didn't. It's 20% now. Like 17% is what you need, not 20, because Spirit Breaker Bash is 17%. And the Radiance miss chance debuff is 17% and 6.84. So if you don't have a 17% chance, you're not getting it. Like it needs to be changed back.
Mid lane, Puck's gonna get the Waning Rift off onto Jellypee. We'll take a bit of burst damage there from the Scream. But yeah, 1-0 to them at the moment, and a very, very nice start to Game Online. And the farm, though, is being affected, though. Excalibur, he's only on about 19 CS at the moment, and Troll's getting to the point where he's almost doubling the CS of this PL. So Troll having a much nicer time in lane, thanks to the line being able to zone out the Spirit Breaker. 5 minutes in, Excalibur he got coming out to him on the career at the moment? Is it the is it just an extra component of the old? Yeah, this the treads. It's finished off the treads. It doesn't feel safe going out to the secret shop at this point because the lane is being pressured quite heavily, but pretty much as you'd expect in a lane up against an Axe.
Yeah, the Axe makes, like we talked about, melee farming is just so awful. I think, honestly, the fact that they've gotten 1 kill means that they could easily snowball this lane, but the Skywrath has decided to not stay bottom. So instead of having the kill potential on Phoenix, like they need Ancient Seal to kill him. If they don't have it, then they can't stop the dive, and then he can just walk away. But without the help of the Skywrath, the bottom lane is going to have to play a lot more passive, and that's kind of the strength that the Phoenix Axe offlane gives you, is that like the 2-hero combo of even having the Skywrath and the PL down here is still not enough. Like, you need a 3rd hero. There's just too much tankiness between the 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see at the moment, Skywrath heading towards the top lane, maybe seeing if you can secure a bit of farm or help out the Spirit Breaker find a potential kill here onto these heroes. What level are we seeing on this at the moment? He is closing in onto level 6, so he will have Nether Strike with his creep wave. And we'll be able to essentially go in straight away on someone like the Lion if the Ancient Seal is there to stop the counter attack. And well, he's going to Nether Strike straight away onto Pasha Ibashu. Zinz will get hexed up by Seema the Slayer. And well, with the stun as well, they do find the kill onto the Spirit Breaker. And well, the rotation from the Skywrath Mage doesn't achieve anything in this lane.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he decided to go top anyway. Maybe they thought with the Spirit Breaker ulti timing, they could potentially just kill the troll straight up. But the Spirit Breaker engaged early, and they also had a ward, so they even saw the Lion walking to lane. They just didn't react to it. Like, I don't know. That was really bizarre. I don't even know why Pelican opted to leave, but now he's going to try to go for mid. He does have 1 rank into his silence right now.
And he gets a very nice initiation there. Oh no! Oh, and he's going to get out as well, I think. He's getting charged, though. He is getting charged.
Yeah,
maybe they can still secure the kill.
He's dead.
He's got to be able to dodge one of them. Where's the bash? Oh, he's with the juice, Oh, one right click, and he does tick out. But I mean, Game Online nearly letting that one slip with the whiff Sonic Wave.
Misclick. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not sure that Brock Snack would have missed that ulti.
Oh, Jalopy.
Nah, I'm just messing around. I mean, it happens. I've seen tons of people miss ultis before, and it happens. But it wasn't great because I think the Queen was not even an experience or gold range for that kill, which kind of hurts. Or maybe he was. He's level 8 right now.
Bottom lane, Mag is going to get charged here by Zinz, trying to keep the pressure on. Excalibur is there, and they of course do have ROG, who finds the Light Strike array. There's your bash as well. Fire Dragon Slave flies through, and the Nether Strike finishing off the Axe. Ancient Seal very nicely done onto Phoenix, and that's going to be a double kill there for the Spirit Breaker. So, I mean, even though the first little bit of a go at aggression on the top lane didn't go too great, Zinz following it up with a lot of kind of global presence there very nicely.
It was pretty obvious, so that this is what they wanted to do. Like, when they get the 1v1 matchup with the SB, oh god, the puck.
Nice Ancient Seal, it is only level 1, but it's going to be enough to last as the fiery
Why was he there?
Very nice indeed. I mean, 5 for 1.
But why was he there? He just saw 4 heroes bottom. Why would he even be close to that side of the map?
He wanted some.
Well, he got it. He got a lot of it, maybe more than he even wanted in the first place.
Oh boy. I mean, suddenly very nice lanes from Vega falling apart. 8 minutes at 5 to 1. That's a fair few kills going the way of the Radiant.
Well, let's be totally fair. The troll still has double the CS of the next highest person, so I'm not like super concerned for Vega at this point.
He's going to get a tower as well potentially.
Yeah, losing those kills isn't great, but I think that they'll be okay with it as long as they don't continue this string of deaths. I don't think they're really accustomed to play against Spirit Breaker because the Spirit Breaker hits 6, he moves and he charges to your lane. That's all the hero does. Like, his entire game plan is to just force early engagements when you know that you have superior firepower in that lane, and you just like force it really hard. So maybe just a bit of inexperience.
I mean, Excalibur's farm isn't great. I mean, it is a long way behind the Troll Warlord, but he's managed to find himself involved in 3 kills. So, I mean, net worth in comparison can't be too bad. I mean, if we have a look at the net worth of the individual hero, okay, it's not great. He's about
1,500 difference at 9 minutes is pretty big.
Yeah, it's big.
And plus it also opens up the opportunity for Roshan, as he's almost got his Yasha on top of the lifesteal, so he'll be more than ready to do it at any given point. And they even buy a smoke for him, I think. The Lion just purchased one. They could either use it for a gank and then just Rosh off the gank, or they could just use it for the troll and he just kills Roshan alone.
Yeah, maybe even, I mean, Seema now does have the level 6 finger, so he can look for a bit of action himself if he wants to try and catch out someone like the Quap. And the Quap, of course, actually having a pretty good game now. 3.5k, about 500 gold ahead of the Puck mid, 10 minutes in. And still on the bottom lane. I mean, Mag's farm has been pretty good on the Axe. He's got Tranquils, 1,500 gold on the way to the Blink Dagger.
I think very similar to the last series, the Blink Dagger on the Axe is going to be very indicative of how this game goes. Because a good Blink call on heroes like Lina or Skywrath, for example, even the PL for a long time, they're pretty squishy. They don't have a lot of HP. So you have the potential to just blow them up before the Axe call even wears off. And you even have Lion Finger now on top of that.
Oh, charge onto Pasha Bashu. Blink forward from Jellypy. Gets in the Scream and the Sonic Wave. This time will not miss. Nether Strike to seal the deal there. Zinz gets himself on a killing spree 10.5 minutes in.
Mag, he's looking. I don't think he's going to get him.
He's got backup at the Phoenix, and the Lion is kind of nearby. We'll get charged though. In comes your Phoenix. Zinz will just TP out, and Lion's not going to be close enough to cancel that. Zinz will get away.
That's kind of the problem when you only have an Axe there, is he has to use his disable for his enemy or his teammates to catch up, and then once that disable's down, if it's too far, you just casually TP out. The Dream, it was almost there. Did the Lion just buy another smoke? I think he did. Yeah, he bought 2. So one of them I think is just for the Roshan, but we'll see.
Troll not well, he's going to TP now to the tier 2, and yeah, there we go. He's going to smoke and go straight into the Roche pit. I mean, at the moment, you've got Spirit Breaker up, heading towards the top lane with the Lina. Skywrath Mage is in the jungle, but I mean, do you have any kind of feeling that Game Online will be able to contest or stop this, or do you think they'll just have to let it
It's
slip?
hard to tell if they're going to know, because they actually can see like 3 heroes visible right now, and the safe lane is also being farmed. If they put 2 and 2 together and see that Solo's farming,
Charge
as
onto
Axe,
Mag. Light Strike Raid, Laguna Blade as well to make sure they finally kill. 7 for 1.
They won't contest the Rosh.
No.
Like it's not obvious at all, actually, that he's doing Roshan, because they had vision of a hero with a ward that got ganked. So him dying actually pretty much ensures they're going to get Roshan, and they have full vision of the river, and plus Solo was farming safe lane. So there's no reason for the PL to really check the pit. It would be up to a support to do that, and the support's top. So yeah, really nice Roshan timing here from Vega. They get it for free. Well, not for free, their Axe dies.
Lion, he's got a haste and he's smoked up. Maybe could look to try and burst down Excalibur. I don't know if it will be enough even with the finger. He's got 738. Would that be enough burst damage with the finger? Would be for the Sky, and he's going to go for it. Yep, there we go. One right click to finish it off. Still has a good duration of the haste, so should be able to get himself away from the PL. Is he going to be able to run away from the Spirit Breakers? He comes in for a Nether Strike. Bashu coming in though, looking for the bashes. The Hex is down as well onto Zinz, and Zinz will go down. Oh, and he tries to find the Lion, and he doesn't get it. That's a dead Spirit Breaker. A couple of nice pickoffs, and now looking for Excalibur. He will have the Doppelganger, and will be able to get away for the time being. 9 Bashu thinking about chasing it down. Has got the backup here of the puck. No one does have Dream Coil available. Jellypy's here to back up the PL, and also the Lina though. In fact, 4 of them have come down to this bottom lane to prepare for a fight if it does indeed kick off. Solo, take a dagger to the face here. ROG just ran out the Dragon Slave here onto the 9 Bashu. Troll still holding his ground, has of course got the Aegis and Face Boots Yasha. Morbid Mask, 1700 gold as well. This is, I mean, it's a very, very rich Troll. Dream Coil will get thrown down onto Jellypy, and well, Jellypy blinks away. The stun will of course catch him, and they're trying to close this one down. There's going to be a charge coming in onto 9 Bashu. Will he get there in time? Sonic Wave comes out, catches both. The Bash will catch them also. Light Strike Array onto the Troll. They burst the Aegis. They did lose the co-op. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but can they bring down the Troll again? There's going to be your Laguna Blade coming out onto Seema the Slayer, but he turns around with a stun. The dunk to finish it off. It's a 2-for-1 so far. They're going to look to chase for the Excalibur, but in fact the silence from Pelican holding back Mag. Blink forward, Joe on forward there as he follows up the illusory orb, but Puck finds himself the kill onto the PL. It is a 4-for-1 trade there. All in all, very nice play from Vega. Man,
The Troll Warlord already having 4 points into his Berserker's Rage. You gain 40 movement speed, or excuse me, yeah, it's 40? Yeah, it's 40. I got confused with the bash damage and the movement speed. So yeah, 40 movement speed bonus with Phase Boots and Yasha. You cannot outrun this hero, like not at this stage in the game. He's opted not to put as many points into Whirling Axes.
Jellypy, he tries to go on Troll, but Axe is there with the backup. Zinz, he's trying to fight Seema the Slayer, but there's 4 heroes here. Supernova will go down. The stun as well, holding Zinz near the sun. Nice silence there from no one catching out the Skywrath. He will go down. Zinz running away. It's going to be 3 heroes again going down on the side of Game Online. They have lost 2 on the side of Vega, but now Zeroji did get caught out by the call. 9 Bashu's going to work on Excalibur. Excalibur will get the Doppelganger, fires the Spirit Lance out onto the Troll, does find the kill, but G2A no one. He's found himself a double kill as he's also brought down the Lina. It's only Excalibur surviving here, and I believe in a game that was 7-for-1 favoring Game Online. Vega just totally closed that gap. It's 11-for-11, and there might even be more. They're going on Excalibur. He just tries to fight back in. He will get silenced up. He's not going to be able to Doppelganger out this one. In comes Mag. Mag? Mag?
I don't know if he was trying to give him the kill or if he panicked or what.
They were trying to kill him or kiss him there. Just gives him a bit of a walk around, but they do kill him.
And that was a fantastic engagement for Vega. So what happened was the last team fight, I'm pretty sure that Mag didn't get his blink until after the skirmish had already finished when they were inside of the Radiant Woods. So when Jalopy teleported to the bottom tower and he blinked in, he was under the assumption that the Axe didn't have his blink yet. Now it's 15 minutes in, so most of the time you could say that by this point he should have blink in pretty much any circumstance that you put him through. So I still think it was a bad idea to try to engage like that, but I think that he only went in because he hadn't seen the blink dagger on the Axe and he just saw him in the previous engagement. So that was a bit unfortunate timing. And like I mentioned, the blink dagger timing on the Axe and the puck proves to be very important, and it pretty much makes them wipe Game Online off the map.
I mean, we're at 12-11 at the moment, and the fact that Vega was so far behind in terms of kills, now that they've managed to equalize it and then for this smoke up Excalibur, it's going to be all right because they're going to sense it. No, they're pinging out. They want to go for Jalopy. There's your Hex into the call, into the finger, into the waning rip. That is your Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain. Very, very dead.
Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain.
Well played.
Oh,
You know what? It's fine, man. We'll let
it's
it go.
all good.
It's a kid show, though.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, PG-13.
So she will remain the Queen of Pain for the time being, but 13-11 and Jewel Scepter now on your puck.
Yeah, I mean, the timing of the Yules is very fast considering how long it took him to actually get blink in comparison. And most of that's just due to how well they've been fighting. So now this puck is an absolute beast to deal with, and he can stop the Spirit Breaker from charging in, he can stop all the follow-ups, he can dispel the silence off of himself if the Skywrath catches him. Right now, Vega have everything that they need to really start controlling this game. And I think for the early laning phase, there was a lot of killing going the way of Game Online, but they haven't really been farming that much. But PL is the only person who has any significant amount of CS.
Look, they've already got 2 tier 1s. This is going to be a 3rd tier 1 as they apply the pressure in the mid lane. Blink 4 from Axe. He's not going to find anyone. Pelican. Hang on. Oh, that puck will. There's going to be a Dream Coil. Waning Rift onto 2. Lina goes down. They're going to lose the Scarf as well. Sonic Wave comes out from Jalopy, but the Yules from Puck will be able to dodge it. In comes Mr. Solo on his Phoenix. Isn't going to use the Supernova as of yet. There was a charge onto 9 Pasha Ibashu, but Spirit Breaker decides to waver it and won't follow through. And Axe, he's found a call onto Excalibur. Excalibur being forced to fight. Come the fiery spirits from the Phoenix. 9 Pasha Ibashu leading the way. There goes one of the illusions as Lions sucks it off, but 15-11. 2 heroes dying on complex Game Online. And well, Nether Strike onto 9 Pasha Ibashu. They do find themselves a kill. The Troll's around a little bit too much. He will go down here. And Puck will be able to escape here with the illusory orb. And Seema the Slayer backs off as well. Phoenix, oh, he's going to dive over. Jalopy blinks forward, will get hexed up straight away. Zinz with the charge, wants to go on to Solo, but Solo with a very nice, oh, the call as well. Oh, this is massive. The Supernova Stone will catch them almost certainly. They've lost one. They're going to lose Zinz as well almost certainly. Seema the Slayer coming in with the right things. He goes down. That's going to be 2. Solo does get Ancient Sealed and the Mystic Flare, bringing him fairly low. Will die. Buyback from the Axe. Puck still on the front lines, trying to fight up against Excalibur. One more right click should be able to do it as it flies through. No, he pops the stick charges. He's going to be okay. Light Strike Array will catch them out, but Pelican, Battle Hunger into the dunk. He goes down. 3 heroes falling on the far side of the Radiant so far. And oh, Puck, he goes forward and he finds himself the 4th kill onto Excalibur. Blink 4 from Mag. He's going to try and chase this one down. The Dream Coil is going to miss, but I think Mag might be able to find this kill anyway. He's diving. He's got the call, he's got the dunk. There's your call. Oh, the Light Strike Array holds him back. Maybe.
He's got blink. Does he go?
Does he go? Come on, Mag. Man up, son.
No, he can. No, he can't turn anymore.
He needs. Oh, Puck. He's manning up. No, he's manning out. No, he's out. Yeah, they're getting out.
The Puck actually played that pretty poorly overall.
He did kill the Phantom Lancer.
He could have
killed the Phantom Lancer.
He could have killed the PL before they even got across the river, but he missed his orb. Like, the orb was way too far away to be able to follow it up with a silence that he had off cooldown after he got there. So he could have killed the PL right there, and then he missed his coil. So even though he's 7-2, he actually misplayed that. And when they were mid last time, an Axe initiation where Mag caught the PL, he had his blink off cooldown and silence and could have followed up with a silence and killed the PL straight up at the tier 2 tower. And instead the troll dies because he didn't kill the PL. So all in all, I would actually say that the Puck play outside of the bottom fight has not been really up to snuff.
Ooh.
So
mean, it's not been too bad.
It's not terrible, but I mean, you expect people in these types of games to not make those mistakes.
There's 9 Pashy Bash, who's going to get bashed by the Nether Strike, and will get knocked down the Mystic Flare, but he gets knocked down to his death. Puck thinking about going in here with the orb, but not going to follow it up. And Troll just getting caught out there, and oh, actually, yeah, Lion gave a bit of the old fingeroo to Excalibur, and did find the PL kill. Zinz will try and TP out. He's not going to be able to get away, as, well, no one comes in with the Yule Scepter. There's going to be a dunk, and, well, that is the Spirit Breaker's head firmly shoved down deep underground. And, well, 2 people dead on the side of the Radiant, and they did lose the Troll to Dire, but all in all, finding the upsides of these little trades. 21 to 15. I mean, if we have a look at the graph now, it can only be disgusting, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's about 10k advantage in terms of net worth and XP, pretty much the same. I mean, it definitely feels like Vega have got to the point where they're just outplaying Game Online every time.
Yeah, the real problem that Game Online are running into is that their heroes are really good at being able to kill things very quickly, but their real 5-on-5 is not anywhere near as good as Vega's.
No.
Like having Phoenix ulti, having Puck and Axe and Troll, all of those heroes are great team fighters, whereas Game Online have a lot of pick potential. So the way that they're choosing to take these engagements, Vega are just running at you with 5 heroes, and that becomes a fight that's very difficult to win. So if you're Game Online, I would probably try to go back to your roots, like slow the pace of the game. Getting a hero picked off isn't the end of the world if you can let Excalibur continue to farm and maybe try to play off just your Spirit Breaker charge for initiation.
Oh, we're talking about the Spirit Breaker charge. Oh, they don't want to follow it through.
That's way too far.
Oh, come on.
He's at a tier 2, man. you gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, the line is indeed drawn. They're back off for the time being, but still Troll. 11,000 net worth for the moment. That's a good 3,500 above your PL.
Yeah, I mean, the farm is terrifying right now on this Troll. Like, he's got Manta already for the silence, obviously. And then he can just go for Scotty if he wants straight after, be super tanky. And that also leaves him plenty of time to go for BKB later, which is also something scary to think about. Like, this guy doesn't have BKB yet, and he'll have a Scotty probably at around like 25, 26 minutes in. And when he gets magic immunity, he's a god. Like, the PL's item progression is not fast enough to be able to contest him right now.
Indeed. I mean, we've got the PL pretty much closing in on the Diffusal. I mean, obviously that's one of those big item pickups that suddenly turns PL into, yeah, a pretty lethal hero in these kind of mid-game skirmishes.
The Diffusal Blade is the de facto item on any illusion hero, really. It just gives you such a big damage boost, and now the second Diffusal upgrade is such value because it's 700 gold for 15 agility, which is a lot. Like, think of a Blade of Alacrity as 1,000 gold for 10 agility. The effectiveness of getting 15 for 700 is much better. So I think the upgrade itself also brings in quite a bit of value. But the reason that you normally don't, as you see Roshan fall here to Vega, is that most teams or most players, they want to use some Diffusal charges before they rebuy it.
I mean, kind of at this point, if you're playing on a back foot, do you feel it is kind of worth just leveling it straight up to the level 2?
It could be. It depends on how often you want to fight. Like, having the Diffusal available is nice for the security of knowing that the item is there if you need to fight. But they might just say, we'll go for the Yasha into Manta instead and just try to accelerate the farm of Excalibur a little bit more. Oh, Courier, no!
Oh, it's got the Orchid on! Oh, Jello P. It's not a great day for you, son, as he does get fingered as well. Now he goes down. Queen of Pain out for the count, 50 seconds, and left to sit there and think about what she's done. Has lost the Orchid and lost the Courier there for the team. And you don't really want that to be happening.
Well, I mean, the Orchid is a pretty big item against heroes like Phoenix. Like, you really want to be able to Orchid the Phoenix of the Lion. Ideally, you would use it on the Puck too, but no one already has an Orchid, or Yules, yeah, excuse me. So he can just dispel it, and that's not really too big of a deal for him.
And I mean, he's got the Ultimate Orb and 1,700 gold on his way to a Cypher Vice at 23.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just snowball effect. Like, this is their lineup's timing, right? Like, they get blinks on their core heroes, and they just go ham. Like, this is a ham game. For the laning phase, it was Game Online going ham. And then as soon as blinks come out, Vega go ham. And then whoever wins the engagements pretty much just wins the game.
It's 24 minutes in. There's only one tier 2 remaining on the side of the map for the side of the Radiant, and they've only been able to take down one tier 1 themselves there on the top lane. I mean, Game Online, I mean, what is kind of the plan here? What are they saying? How are they going to turn this around?
They hope for a good high ground defense. With the Orchid dying on the Courier, it leaves a lot less room for error. Like being able to like Orchid solo during a team fight so he doesn't get egg off and maybe burst him with the help of Skywrath or the Lina. Like that was something they were relying on pretty heavily, I feel, to be able to defend. But now, without that at their disposal, heck, even Orchiding on the Axe to prevent him from dunking somebody can be nice, because he doesn't have a Blade Mail. So if he blinks in and he calls, he doesn't really have much damage follow-up unless his team is there. But yeah, I mean, everything considered, I'd say Vega are in a pretty good spot. It'd be very hard for them to lose. They've taken all 6 outer tier towers. Game Online have only taken 2. And the next Roshan is going to be very hard for them to contest. Fortunately, the Courier will likely be respawned by then. And maybe they'll have an extra item up on somebody. I don't even know, because Excalibur, he's putting points into stats, and I understand why he's doing it in this situation. Like sometimes when I see it, I would argue that Doppelganger is just straight up better. But he can actually be bursted, and that's kind of terrifying. So he needs the health to be able to live long enough to Doppelganger.
And in solo? Solo? What was the plan there?
I don't know. He even had wards. I actually have no idea what he was doing.
Laser beaming and walking in between the two
They weren't smoked, were they? No, they weren't, because no one even had inventory room for a smoke.
What was it?
So he just like...
Yeah. So, I mean, solo. We're watching you,
He was
sir.
solo.
We're watching you.
He was alone.
Mid lane, they're putting some pressure here onto the tier 1. And 9 Pashi Bashi will be able to scare off the Quap. Still 22-16. Looking very favourable for the side of Vega. 14,500 gold on your Troll, 12,500 on your Puck. The closest is Excalibur here on the PL, 9,500. And Mac, well, 4-star forwards isn't going to quite be able to get the call onto the Lina though here. And now we see the Orchid does finally get into the hands of the Quap. But Troll, he's got his Scardy.
Yeah, 26 minutes in, so he's got 2,300 health. Manta style, some lifesteal. I wonder if he finishes Dominator before he goes BKB. A lot of trolls just leave it as the casual Morbid Mask because the other build-ups are a lot better. So like going for a BKB gives you more survivability, which is all troll really needs because he already does so much freaking damage that you can just right-click people to death no matter what you have. And just having the magic immunity makes going high ground that much easier. So
Puck with the Ultimate went for the Lincolns rather than the Scythe.
Yeah, that's interesting. He could be looking to put it on somebody else, like maybe put it on the Axe for a blink initiation or put it on solo so the Orca doesn't hit him, because he can always save the Yules for himself. Like he doesn't actually need that. But I think the Lincolns is it's still fine. Like for going high ground, you can even put it on the Troll if you want to, if he's just hitting the tower right now. Like it stops charge too, so it's kind of nice.
This tower is absolutely melting. Spirit Lance full flank to 9 Pashi Bashu. But, well, he stands there and he takes it. That's going to be the middle tier 3 going down. He will back up now as the spams start to fly from the Scarth Mage, getting him fairly low. But that's, yeah, tier 3 down as they do start to slowly begin to break the high ground. 27 minutes into the game, 22-16 Vega. It's just looking very, very scary. I guess, as you were saying earlier, in terms of high ground defense, I mean, the possibility is there for Game Online to do it pretty well.
It is. They're looking for a smoke counter gank right now. The only downside is the only vision they really have is on their side of the map. So once they cross the river, they're going to be playing completely blind, which is very, very dangerous. But I understand the sense of wanting to try to do something. It's just kind of rough. Like I'm assuming Roshan's going to be up kind of soon. Still a few minutes before it spawns, so this timing could be good.
Solo, Blink 4 from Jellipi is going ham, and he does get the Orchid onto Solo. Mystic Flare will catch out, well, no one. In fact, as Queen of Pain just dies to the side of Vega. Now they're going in for more. There's going to be a stun and Supernova coming out. ROG getting low will get dunked. There's a double kill here for Axe. Excalibur will get caught by the Supernova stun. There's another kill there for the side of the Dire. 3 down, Zin's in the middle of it all. He'll go down as well. 4 heroes to fall, and Scarth Mage, he's already halfway across the map, just getting the hell out of there, noping it back to base.
That was almost a nice jump, but unfortunately the Mystic Flare didn't land, so Solo didn't take enough damage to die. And plus he had a 16 charge wand, and he also had mech up. I don't know if he would have died either way. The damage follow-up just wasn't really there. And once it happens, again, that's the risk that you run when you smoke into blindness.
Not the best of smokes.
Yeah, I get why they wanted to fight, though. Even if they wanted to try to defend the base, it still would have been hard. In hindsight, defending the base would have been the better play because they wouldn't all be dead. But sometimes you feel like you need to make a move, and I understand that mentality. Like not wanting to just sit there idly and let the other team like farm the whole map.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's one melee Rex down. Tier 3 on the bottom will fall. Buyback from the Spirit Breaker. Can they really look to try and reinitiate onto this Vega? They're standing strong, all 5 of them. And BKB now complete on your Axe as well.
Yeah. The BKB 4 staff blink, pretty standard Axe items. He's pretty unkillable with that item too. Like the annoying thing about PL is if you catch him with a lot of illusions out, sometimes you don't spin like immediately and you lose like all your mana. But having the BKB means that you won't have that problem anymore. You can just go as ham as you want for as long as you want until everyone's dead.
The BKB, it's only 700 gold away for 9 Pashi Bashu as well.
His farm is insane. Like, even though he's died 4 times, he still has a ton of gold. All you really need to do with a 10-second BKB is walk up to the naked racks bottom and hit them. And I would even say, if you double racks, Game Online might just tap out. Say double racks is too hard to come back from. Like with our heroes, who do they have to clear waves? Like Lina and Queen are the only 2 who clear it relatively quick. And PL also doesn't really have a Vlad's for farming, which is very common on PL pickers. Like, I think Sing does it, and every single other PL I've ever seen buys Vlad's, but he doesn't have it, which means that he can't go to the enemy woods and freely farm and stay at a high amount of HP, which kind of is a bummer.
So lane, we're going to see a blink in from Puck as he uses up Jalopy. The silence from the Waning Rift is there as well. Hex from Seam of the Slayer, and then the stun onto Zinz. He finishes off the Queen of Pain with a quick finger. Zinz will start to run with the Battle Hunger. He's going to get the boosted movement speed here to Mag. Dreamcoil will catch the Spirit Break as he just kind of stands there. BKB is being popped. He's looking for the call. Doesn't even need to use it at the end of the day. Just follows through with the dunk. That's going to be the second hero down here on the side of the Radiant. As 2 heroes dead without buyback. 9 Pashi Bashu taking a bit of damage here from the diffusal-bladed illusions, and it looks to fall here, in fact, and that is going to be a dead troll. And he himself, he's dead for 65 seconds, hasn't got any buyback. Looked for a bit of action on the bottom lane, and well, didn't find too much favoring himself there.
Yeah, he found action. Just,
oh yeah, not the kind he was hoping for.
Yeah, that was not the district he thought he was in. But I think it's fine still. Like, giving away that kill is a pretty big swing for golden experience for Game Online. It puts Excalibur closer to his Manta, or maybe even Scotty, if that's the route that he's going to decide to go. Maybe he thought that the rest of the team were going to be helping top, because that's where the majority of his team were fighting at that given time, right? So like, if you go somewhere on the map and you try to fight, you assume that there's going to be some kind of reaction, but you typically assume that the enemy is going to go to where the bigger fight is. Sometimes it's better to always just find the hero who's alone and ensure that you get something back. Because right there, they lost their Queen and they lost the Spirit Breaker. So getting the troll and trade is actually not too bad.
I mean, the Puck, looking at the Puck's farm, that 4.2k gold, or 4.3 if you want to be exact, but what do you feel that the Puck is going to go for now after Lincoln's? Will it be the Cypher Vice, or is there anything else you could be contemplating in this situation?
I think Hex is too good against their heroes. Yeah. Like, being able to Hex the PL at the start of a fight. Like, if you get an Axe initiation into a call, and then you blink in and you Hex after that, then you also have Lion's Hex and his Impale, you can stop him from even being able to use Doppelganger at all if you just have that extra disable. Dagon is okay, Shivas is okay. He did buy another Mystic Staff, or a Mystic Staff, so it's going to be either the Shivas or the Hex.
Okay, and they're going to the Rose Jam. There is, of course, now the Vlads on the solo on the Phoenix, and yeah, it's the Shivas he'd picked up for no one. And yeah, that'll be Roche going down. Troll there with the Aegis. There's a smoke up here from the Radiant. Last time it didn't end up going too well. They lost 4 heroes, didn't manage to take down anyone. Maybe this time they can look for something a little bit better. Pelican leading the way, pops down a ward. He sees the Axe. So they're ready with the wraparound. They want to go for the wraparound. Game Online. Looks like they don't want to go for the wraparound. Well, Scarf's leading the way. The rest of his team a little bit behind him. And Scarf, well, Seam of the Slayer's on the back foot here at this push. It's going to be quite a big push. They're stranded to the racks, and Game Online need to get back to their base because they're losing it. There'll be a charge onto Mag, but that blink call catching 3 into the Supernova. Oh, 2 are dead, 3 are dead, as Mag with an unstoppable streak, and that is GG well played, and very, oh man, what a way to end the game. That cool.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's 2 games that we've seen so far in different series where the Axe Blink has pretty much just steamrolled the game.
Yes.
Like, obviously, the second game when Yellow Submarines played, that Blink call was literally game-ending. And that one was too, but the difference was that Yellow Submarines was the 16 minutes and this one was a little bit later, but very nicely played from Vega. They knew exactly what their draft was meant to do. Their mid game was insanely powerful and they just executed like every single step of the way. Even with the laning phase looking, yeah, okay, it was shaky. The Spirit Breaker found a couple of charge kills, but that's what their lineup is built for. Like, they're built for being able to win the lanes, being able to stop that Axe Phoenix dual lane where you have that silence. I really feel like Pelican, like, he didn't need to rotate that game. He just needed to stay bottom. And staying bottom would have stopped the Axe from getting his blink sooner. It would have stopped the Phoenix from doing anything because Skywrath completely owns Phoenix.
It's true.
And they would have also gotten Excalibur maybe a little bit more farm that he desperately needed at the end of that game.
Indeed, and well, yeah, Vega Squadron, they take it. Going into the next game, what do you think Game Online, to be more specific, what kind of heroes do you feel that Game Online will be kind of orientating towards banning a little bit kind of higher priority than they did in the first draft?
I don't even know if the Troll was really the problem, because there's a handful of heroes who could have done the same thing that Troll did. Like, you could have easily picked Juggernaut. You could have picked any hero with lifesteal who is ranged to also kill Roshan at that early stage. Sure, he gives you maybe better late game than some other choices, but I think any carry would have worked, so that pick for me doesn't really matter. I think the Axe was the biggest impact hero, and he was in the off lane, right? Like, he found really good initiations, and that's really hard to say to just ban Axe because you're playing against Mag, but I don't know, maybe think about getting rid of Axe, because he really did have a phenomenal game.
Okay, well, we'll see how they do end up drafting in Game 2. But first of all, we're going to run a quick commercial break, and then we'll be over to our panel to see what they thought about the game at hand that we have just seen before us. So myself and Draskell will catch you guys back again in maybe just more than a few minutes. We'll see you guys in a bit.